got Scott, King Queen Cichlids, and this week we're going to talk about the 5 fish you should never pick up because they get too big in your aquarium. Check it out.
We're back in our fish room, and we're going to talk about the 5 fish you should never purchase because they're simply going to get too big for your fish tanks. They shouldn't be sold in stores, and you as a hobbyist shouldn't purchase them unless you plan on getting anywhere from a 210-gallon tank like this up to a 500-gallon tank. That's the only appropriate way to keep them, unless you're like my brother IFG, who's doing 1,000-gallon ponds outside of his house, which is perfectly fine to do that. Definitely check IFG out. He's doing larger fish, and he's putting in the appropriate tanks to keep these fish. So definitely check out IFG. He'll give you some great tips. But my number 5 fish that you should never purchase, and my number 4 fish that you should never purchase, because they're both in this tank. Number 1 is the peacock bass. Now, I've seen peacock bass readily available at a lot of different stores that I go to. They're like 2 or 3 inches. Let's demonstrate that. Yeah, I know you guys. They're like, when you purchase them, they're like that. 2 inches. Can you see that? 2 inches. But when they get bigger, they'll be here. Can't even get that in the camera. And that's just 2 foot. And peacock bass can get all the way up to 3 foot. That's one big fish. Unless you're prepared for something of this size, don't purchase the fish. Okay? Just don't purchase it. Now the peacock bass, as I said, will get anywhere from 2 to 3 feet and will weigh in anywhere at adult size from 20 to 30 pounds. Now the guys I have in here are about 16 and 18 inches. And if you've been a subscriber of mine for some time, you know I did a video introducing these peacock bass into my fish room, as well as knowing what I'm going to do with them when they get to about 2.5 feet. When they get to about 2.5 feet, I have a deal taken care of with Bass Pro Shop. They're going to take these fish as adoptions. They're going to put them in their 5,000-gallon tank, and from that point take care of them and make sure they have a good life. But always have a plan. If you know you're purchasing a fish that's going to get really large, have a plan of how you're going to keep them, and as they readily get bigger, where they're going to go. So these peacock bass are doing great in this 210-gallon tank currently. And again, as they get bigger, the plan is for them to go to Bass Pro Shop in their display tank that's about 5,000 gallons. Alright, let's talk about the other fish that's in here as well. The Arowana. So this silver Arowana is going to get anywhere up to 4 feet long. 4 feet long. So we're talking here, guys. 4 feet long, if not longer. Now again, I'm going to say this. A lot of the fish that I have in my fish room I got for absolutely free, because hobbyists have taken these fish, bought these fish at small sizes, and then been shocked when they've gotten bigger than they ever anticipated. So I have readily like thousands of dollars worth of fish that I got for free, simply because I have big tanks available to house these fish in. It's been a delight to have people come to me and say, hey, I have these 1.5 foot silver Arowana, would you like them? I just want them to go to a good home. And the fact that I can provide them a good home with no charge to myself and have a beautiful Arowana like that is just great. So again, you know, keep making those mistakes if you want to, and I'll be the beneficiary of it. But my job is to make sure that hobbyists are educated and don't purchase cichlids and fish that they simply can't take care of. Okay? So, yeah, my beast. Yeah. What's up, guys? Alright, so number 5 was peacock bass. Number 4 was the Arowana. Number 3, it's not going to be my Amphilophus, although I see them sold all the time. Petco, PetSmart, I see Redtails being sold all the time. And again, you see this is a 150-gallon tank, and you see these guys are huge. These guys, Amphilophus, you know, the citronellus and the chanchos are going to get anywhere from 16 to 18 inches full size. They are beasts, as you can see. But back to our list. Number 3 is the Pacu. The Pacu, again, I see readily available at fish shops all over the place, and they just get too big. The Pacus will get anywhere to about 2 feet long, but the big thing is they will get very fat, broad, and they'll get some amazing teeth that are very sharp, and they just get huge. Now, that's probably something that I see donated to shops all the time, are Pacus, because they just get so big, people aren't aware of them, that they're going to get that size. They think they're small fish, and they just get huge. So don't buy Pacus. Alright guys, I got a great idea. Let's call my buddy Jonathan Straczynski. He's got a world of experience when it comes to big fish. Let's find out what his top 5 fish would be that you shouldn't purchase because they just get too damn big. Jonathan, it's your floor.
What's up, fish nerds? Impromptu video. 5 species that people shouldn't own, in my opinion. Shouldn't buy. Number 1, Pacus. Pacus get huge. They're very demanding, and they need a lot of space. Number 2 would be Redtail catfish. South American redtail catfish get massive, and not everyone has a 14-foot tank to keep redtail catfish in, and I do not have any redtail catfish at the moment, and I don't plan on ever having them again. Tiger shovel-nosed catfish would probably be number 3 on the list. Number 4 on the list would probably be clown knives. Clown knives get 3 foot. And number 5, yeah, giant gouramis. They get massive also. So that'd be about it. I think that was 5. Let's recap. Pacus, redtail catfish, tiger shovel-nosed catfish, clown knives, and giant gouramis. There it is in a nutshell. Enjoy your fishes, folks, and don't forget to watch them. That's the most important part. Watch your fish.
Alright, Jonathan, thank you for your thoughts. Jonathan, if you're not aware of him, is an ACA speaker, has a huge 1,200-gallon tank in his basement that he built himself. Was famous for one of the largest red-tailed sharks I've ever seen in my life, named Toast, and also helped the Ohio Monster Fish Rescue Center that provides an area, provides a service where when fish get too big and you don't have a home to put them in, this guy that runs the place, Rick, has a spot with huge thousands of gallons tanks that take care of these fish, provide them a good home. Definitely check out the Ohio Rescue Service, Fish Service. Donate some money if you can. They do a spectacular job in providing homes for these fish that get way too big for their regular aquarium. Steve Poland did a really cool video about the place and the tours. You want to check that out. I'll leave a link above. Now, so number 5 was Peacock bass, number 4 was Arowana, number 3 was Pacus, and we're down to number 2, and that would be, and I always put this fish with Jonathan Straczynski, the red-tailed catfish. The red-tailed catfish I see sold all the time. It drives me nuts. Sometimes even going to shops and I see like 2 foot red-tailed catfish in like a 55-gallon tank, and they're just, it's cruelty. It's just, they should be in much larger aquariums. They should be in aquariums like public aquariums, not 55 or 75-gallon tanks in your house. So again, red-tailed catfish, don't buy them. Stop buying them. Owners out there, stop selling them. And I know you're going to say, well, they sell good, people purchase them. Fine, but money isn't everything. At least educate the people and say, hey, it's 6 inches now, but it's going to be 5 feet in some years. Just make sure that the consumers are well aware of what's going on. On to number 1. Alright guys, you are in my office, my favorite place to just chill, work on YouTube videos, work on the various stuff I'm doing out in the hobby with the American Cichlid Association, King and Queen Cichlids, CARES, Cichlid Club of York, all those various places, NEC, wherever I try to work, I go in here. I absolutely love this room. It's got my huge 180-gallon custom-built tank in here that is reaching from wall to wall. It's about 7 feet long. This, again, is the size tank that I need to keep the fish that are currently in there, which includes a large school of silver dollars, a breeding pair of Redtail, Feste, and some pikes that I got from Tom Galooly that are paired up and growing very fast. So, back to our list. We're going to go down the top 5 again. Number 5 was Peacock Bass. Number 4 was the Arowana. Number 3 was a Pacu. Number 2 is the Redtail catfish. And number 1 is the Alligator gar. Now, the Alligator gar is one of the biggest fish available in the hobby. It can get anywhere up in the wild. They've been recorded up to 7 to 8 feet long and several hundred pounds. Now there are 4 gars that are available in the hobby that I'm seeing sold various places within shops. There is the spotted gar, the short-nosed gar, the long-nosed gar, and then the alligator gar, which is the largest of those 4. Guys, they are fantastic looking, and trust me, someone that enjoys monster fish, it's hard for me, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you I haven't had any, because I have had some alligator gars before. They're tremendous, really cool fish. They're personable, they're cool to watch. Feeding them is cool, although it takes some time to wean them off of live food and to get them to accept pellets. I've done it before, but just don't get these fish. Gars in general are going to get huge, and you don't have, again, our theme for the day, you're not going to have an aquarium large enough to suitably give them the environment and home they need to sustain a good life. Okay? And that, if we leave this video with nothing else, as hobbyists, it is our responsibility to provide the best environment possible for our fish. I take keeping big fish seriously, I really do. And a lot of people, when they come to my house, they'll see a large tank and they'll see 2 fish in it, and they're like, well, can't you put more fish in? I could, but I know how big these fish are going to get, and I know, based in them being in the wild, that they would have a lot larger area to exist in. But I'm not going to put a lot of fish that I know that get big and cramp them into one tank. I like to provide a lot of room and a lot of space and a lot of water changes, and I want to provide the very best conditions I can for my fish. I feel that's my responsibility. So, there you go. Those are my top 5 fish. If you go to another store and you see them, just say no. Just say, no, it's not for me. I'm not going to be able to provide a good home for them. Or if you do purchase them, have a plan. Sure, you can start off with a 55-gallon tank. But as the months go by and they get bigger, you're going to have to go from a 55 to a 90 to a 125 and beyond. And again, as I told you, check out IFG. He is doing some really cool stuff with outdoor ponds. They're not as expensive as you might think, and they're going to provide enough tank space to take care of these wonderful fish. So thank you guys. Okay guys, as always, enjoy this hobby for all it's worth. And if you're not having fun in the hobby, you're just not doing it right. Keep your eyes peeled on King and Queen Cichlids videos. Come join us live and see what fun you can have in the hobby. Now, before I go, the Aquatic Experience happens October 19th through the 21st. Liz and I will be running the American Cichlid Association booth. Definitely come check us out. We would love to see you, greet you, meet you, and just sit down and maybe get a drink or two. We're also running the Cichlid Show, so definitely get your cichlids in. It's going to be a lot of fun, and the person that is awarded the best cichlid gets $500. Hope to see you guys there. Bye-bye.